What's up, y'all? Let's do a quick little mid-season catch-up, refresh, breakdown of Insecure for season 3. Um, if you're an avid fan of the show, you've probably realized that the writing is very different, and that's because Issa is no longer writing these episodes. There's been a new writer. And at first I didn't like that. At first I thought that it was going to kind of take us out of her original concept. But now I kind of like that it gives us a whole new point of view and a different take on all the characters. So we just had episode 5, which was kinda high or high something. It was basically supposed to be about the girls getting together, Molly, Issa, and the other two, I can never remember their names, just going to Coachella and having a little bonding trip before the Sadiddy one has her baby. And leading up to that, we've had some okay episodes. A great episode was right before this last one. And I'm really enjoying it now. The first couple episodes just were very dry for me. I'm glad to see that Issa has decided to quit her job and pursue something else. I've done that before. I actually quit my job in 2016 and did Uber for probably about 3 or 4 months before I figured out what I wanted to do next. And I think that's fine. Sometimes you need that break from being like stuck in a situation, and she finally got the break that she needed. I really like the relationship that's happening between her and Nathan, who calls her party lift, because they met in the first episode. He was in her lift that she was driving. She was doing a lift route with Molly in the car, and the second person they picked up was Nathan. And it's kind of nice to see her have a flirtation and a beginning with somebody that is not named Lawrence or Daniel. Because for those few episodes when she was still living with Daniel and they were in this murky, are we gonna, should we, can we type of vibe, it just didn't feel authentic to what Issa was about. But then again, it's somebody else writing it, and I don't like Nathan and Issa together. I didn't even like Lawrence and Issa together, and everything was going really great. Coachella was a cool little scene for the show, and how Issa and Nathan got to break off and do their own thing, and they were all on Molly and all high and just having a good old time. Until the fight. What is her name? The funny one with the curly hair. She got into a fight over their spots at Coachella, which at a music festival you really can't hold spots, but they got into a fight and she ended up getting hit with a taser. And I thought that all was just beautiful, because that's some kind of almost like comedy and comedic relief that we haven't really experienced in the show. So I was glad to see that change of pace. But more or less just really happy to see Issa in like the beginnings of a relationship and what she's like when she's interested in somebody, because the original season, the first season, we came into her and Lawrence's dysfunction, and then she cheated with Daniel, who was somebody that they almost coulda, shoulda, woulda, and then they meet back later in life. But Nathan, who she met in a lift, Nathan and Issa have very fresh beginnings with no history. He's from Houston, and I really like what the vibe that was happening. How Sunday's episode ended ticked me off completely. because everyone was complaining that there was no Lawrence, and I actually thought we were free of Lawrence. And then Lawrence shows up, and that just, like, I understand it because I'm not over my ex. Sorry, there's a big truck going by. I'm not over my ex, and I get it. It's hard to move on, and there's so many mixed messages when it comes to an ex if it didn't break off cleanly, and there's not, even when there's closure, there's never closure because you've grown together, you've spent so much time, and they were together for like 5 years, so I get it. But it's just like, I'm so sick of their story. Their story never works out. Their story, it just doesn't mean anything to us as like viewers of the show. I understand that the women really like Lawrence, but just as a viewer and as a writer, I think it's a handicap that they have to keep falling back on Lawrence's character for Issa, when that's just gonna keep her in this little box that she's, been in. Like, let her bloom. Let's see what she's like when she really likes somebody who has nothing tied to her. So now that he's back in, and I'm sure it's gonna be a whole thing of she gonna forget about Nathan, and it's gonna be how she gonna get Lawrence back, and can they start again? And I'm over it already. It hasn't even started. I honestly don't even want to watch the rest of the season because it's now going to be about her and Lawrence. I just feel that it's going to take over the whole show again. And it's just, that's late. It's played. Like, let us see how to move on, because I need help. Okay. I have not moved on. And I was really hoping to see a character start over fresh and like push through and try something new, but it's not going to happen that way. So all in all, and Molly in this thing at work. Molly has already passed the test. They hired her, they gave her everything she wanted in her contract, but she still is trying to prove herself as one of the people to be trusted and respected in this firm, and more or less she's trying to get this guy Torian, trying to get his attention, and he ain't paying her any attention right now. So it just shows Molly being desperate again for another man's attention, and I don't know if we really want to go that route with her. The two greatest things so far about this season is Issa quitting We Got Y'all so she can expand her horizons and do something involving music, and her meeting Nathan and like trying something new with somebody new and like starting from scratch. And I was really excited about that. Overall, out of a 10, I give the first 5 episodes an 8, only brought down by the first 2 episodes because I didn't really enjoy the first 2 that much. The new writer is doing a great job now that we see which direction they're trying to take us, and I'm excited to see what happens with the rest of it. But Lawrence coming back, like, even the chances of that really happening, of them being in Palm Springs, and the timing of her having to go get them some water, and Lawrence and his friend being in the 7-Eleven at the same time, at the same exact, it felt lazy. It felt lazy as a writer to me that you gotta bring Lawrence back in. And I know there was like some petitions and all that stuff going around about where's Lawrence, bring Lawrence back, but Lawrence is old news. Let's see this grown ass lady. She's looking for a new job. She got a new place to live. She's got new responsibilities. Let's see her with a new man in her life and like new aspirations. And whenever you get back with an ex, it's never clean. It's always gonna be that same messy stuff sitting in the middle of y'all. we get stuck in familiarity, and I think that's where, when I see Issa and Lawrence together, it makes me just feel like, oh well, they're used to each other, they know each other, and it does nothing for me, nothing. But I do like this. What do y'all think? Let me know. All right, I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of where I'm at. I'm at this beautiful spot out here. I'm gonna try to start switching it up so I'm not always with the wall behind me. I live in some beautiful country now, so I'll switch it up a little bit. All right, I'll see y'all in the next video.